il ruolo della pubblica amministrazione nell'utilizzare le tecnologie, come vediamo la tecnologia appunto un ruolo abilitante, e anche proprio il disegno, come ci diceva Marco Berlinguer, della tecnologia può creare delle connessioni, delle collaborazioni che forse prescindono anche dai valori condivisi degli individui, proprio perché come è disegnata la tecnologia permette la collaborazione e in ultima analisi anche di creare capitale sociale a prescindere dalle volontà e dai valori condivisi degli individui. È quindi un segnale, un fattore da tenere in considerazione da parte delle amministrazioni, come possono favorire o studiare questo fenomeno.
Well, I understand the question, but I'm not certain that I am capable of answering the question. The direction of my comments and my expertise or my knowledge leads me to emphasize what I believe to be the fundamental features of the fundamental factors that affect social capital in the society at large. And so now I'm about to repeat, and I apologize for that. I'm also interested in what others in the room have to say, but the reason that I emphasized these other two factors, that is, the inevitable growth of diversity and the almost inevitable growth of inequality, because both of those are driven by global factors that are going to affect Bologna or Emilia-Romagna. It's not that Emilia-Romagna can distance itself, or that the ente regionali qui can distance itself from these larger trends. Those are givens. But if I were the social capital czar of the regional institution here, honestly, I would focus more on trying to think of how we need to adapt our activities, we in the ente regionale di Emilia-Romagna, what we can do to adapt to these larger changes. So let me be much more specific. And this is not responding to the issue of transparency or to the issue of the digital economy. I think that the problem of diversity, as I said, is best addressed not the way most European officials are currently conceiving it. Most European officials currently have two ideas which are both wrong, in my view. First of all, that there's a choice. Europe can be monocultural or multicultural, and I don't think that's a choice. I think that the fundamental demographic features of Europe, the rapid aging of the populations, and the fundamental features of geography, namely the becoming more porous of borders between the North and South. It's also true in America. The border between the North and South of the world in America is becoming more porous. There aren't enough ships in the world to prevent people sailing across the Mediterranean. So I don't think there's a real choice. And moreover, I think Europe will be, in the long run, richer if they accept the greater diversity. But that means not imagining, and this is the second illusion, that you could change all of those people to become really little Italians. They're going what it means to be Italian is going to become different. It's going to require, and I used this example before, I'll be brief, it's going to require thinking of Italian identity not in terms of DNA, but in terms of shared values. Not just because I'm Italian because I've always lived here. My parents and my grandparents and my great-great-grandparents have always lived here. That's a DNA-based model of national identity, and that is no longer sustainable in the modern world, in my view. And that means thinking more carefully about how to create a sense of shared values as the basis for identity. And that, for sure, is a responsibility of not only the regional government, but surely of the regional government, to create a sense in which being an Emilian or Emilia-Romagnan is not just a matter of biology, but it's a matter of culture. And on the other issue, the issue of the division in society, I think also there too, actually, I recognize that challenge doesn't seem so great here because basically there's not such great differences in wealth, in income within Emilia-Romagna. I recognize that. But I also think that trend lies over the horizon, and it means thinking carefully about how to create an equal base for new citizens. How can you ensure that all young people in this region are starting from the same point, have the same starting point? And that means paying a lot of attention to schools and to preschools. And of course, Emilia-Romagna, of course, has huge advantages. I want to just say one last example of an area in which Emilia-Romagna is decades ahead of the rest of the world. The Reggio Emilia model of early childhood education is a landmark in the whole world. If only we had that model in America, because it provides serious psychological and intellectual development to all young people at a very early age. So I'm not saying that the future is bleak at all for Emilia-Romagna, because there still is incredible creativity and productivity in this region based on this long historical patrimony. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that sounds like a very American and academic response to a very practical question. Unfortunately, that's what I am, an American academic. No, non c'è niente da fare.